because we
Yeah.
can make our own content. There's no shortage of tracks, there's no shortage of beautiful artworks for our cars. And some of the artworks people have put on these cars have just been phenomenal. They are actual,
Simply amazing.
like,
Yeah.
people are actually putting characters from animes and stuff and Acceleracers characters on the cars. And it's just, how do you do that with circles and squares, my guy? Phenomenal.
It's just circles and squares. This doesn't make sense.
They got 4 basic shapes and they make RDL1 or whatever it is, and he looks phenomenal. And it's just like, how?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Squared Corner podcast. My name is JayCee Squared, your host for this awesome thing, and we will be interviewing different guests of the Hot Wheels community. Today's guest that I have with me is Cobalt Sanderson.
Hello,
Welcome on.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. How are you doing, by the way?
No, pretty good. Have been a bit unwell the last couple of weeks, but I'm on the recovery.
Oh, awesome. Good stuff. So I just want to ask you some questions here about your community and everything.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask first, why did you first want to become a YouTuber? What started it?
I actually, like, obviously at some point everyone's like, yeah, I'd love to do YouTube. That'd be great. I had no intention of doing it at all. I was pretty big in the Q community, Cards, the Universe, and everything. Just as a player, a community member, and I had a WordPress blog that just talked about the game, discussed the game, and gave people tips.
Oh, wow.
And then eventually I moved that into just to make things easier and show people how things functioned. I just threw a few videos up on YouTube for a mobile game, and that's where my channel started. And then once PA came out and I had a computer, I started on that. And again, that wasn't even like an attempt to become like a YouTuber or anything. There was just, I wanted to show people, a few speed runs that I did, and you needed video authentication.
Yeah.
And then that just started getting views. And eventually I
Mm-hmm.
started putting myself in the videos and talking, and just merged into what it is now. It's kind of an accident, really.
Yeah. That's interesting. A lot of people, it was for Opus, I think. He was saying that it was like directly on purpose for distance. And then you're just like, man, I don't know what happened here. We were just doing some things, and then it just
I was just
blew up
playing a
on me.
card game, a mobile card game. And I played that until the company actually hired me. So the company
Oh,
making it
wow.
hired me to balance test their game before they released new cards.
That's cool.
And then that actually killed my desire to play the game.
Oh, dang. That stinks. I guess we should shift gears back into that Accelerator stuff. What got you introduced into the Acceleracers community? Was it simply the Project Accelerator stuff that
It
you
was
said you
before
did,
that.
or was it before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously I was like, I watched them as a kid, grew up with them, had like a lot of the cars from when they were on the shelf. But I assumed that there was like maybe 20 fans across the world that had watched this show. Well, 20 people that
We're a
still
small
remembered
bunch.
it, right? Um,
Yeah.
and then I was in like, I think it was a Halo Facebook group, and K Powers had just created the Hot
Oh,
Wheels
yes.
Tesla posting group and was cross posting to get
Yeah.
attention. So he was like putting up Halo memes but done in an Acceleracers format, and then
Yeah.
linking Tesla posting. And I immediately joined, and that's how I got into the community and realized it was much bigger than I expected.
It was through the
And then
memes.
found PA through that, and found the Reddit through that, and basically my entire Accelerators community I found through that.
Wow. That's cool. That's a fun story. Facebook.
Yep.
I mean, mine isn't as nice. It was Roblox. So Facebook, I feel, is like a little more sophisticated than Roblox with the kids. What actually got you into the Project Acceleracers? How did you find that? Was it
um,
just through, again, the Reddit and stuff, or just?
I think that was actually through Tesla posting. Someone posted a video of it. And my
Okay.
partner had just bought a brand new computer for streaming. I never had a good enough computer to do anything like that. I was still streaming
Yeah.
Q videos, or not streaming. Yeah, actually, I did a few Q streams. Streams of me playing on my phone. It was crazy. It was all from the
Mm-hmm.
mobile. Set up my phone to record directly to like YouTube. And yeah, someone
Right.
posted PA, and I just gotten this computer, and I was like, I'm going to check it out. and then
Oh,
became
okay.
a pretty big speedrunner in that community. And then that, yeah, ended up being on YouTube.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What I guess appealed to you the most about the fan games for Acceleracers, especially for Project Accelerator, since that was your
We just
pretty
never
much
got one.
main
Like we
one?
never got a real one. We never got a
Yeah.
Acceleracers game.
Mm-hmm.
PA was free. I was good at it once I learned what I was doing. It's such a hard game to learn.
Mm,
But once I learned it,
I know that.
I was really good at it. I was there's feats I've made in that game that were never beaten. Like they had to bring in new mechanics for someone to actually beat the feats that I've made. Um, you know, being able to
Too good at the game.
being
Too
able to
good at the game.
complete Cosmic Realm in under a minute with no jump jets before jump jets were released was crazy.
Oh,
Um,
sheesh.
and I'm still to this day the only person that's done it in under 4 minutes, let alone under a minute.
Hmm.
So
Dang.
that I really enjoyed the community there. They were very
Mm-hmm.
positive and very social, and it made it a lot
Yeah.
easier to just make content for them.
Yeah, that's neat. That's awesome. And moving on from Project Acceleracers, what then got you to go into Unleashed? I
The
think I can
trailer.
guess, but the trailer.
um, Obviously, I was starting to pick up a fair bit of community for PA. I had a video that had over 10,000 views for PA, so people are actually like
Dang.
coming to me for Acceleracers content or Hot Wheels content.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they announced a new Hot Wheels game coming out, and I was like, this is just hype train right now. I can get
Yep.
views to my channel and possibly even push myself closer to that 1K mark so I can get subs, so I can get revenue, because everyone, there's an option to make money off something. Everyone wants to do it. I'm not even going to be
Yeah.
subtle about it. But I saw
Yeah.
an option to get my channel to 1,000 subs, which makes it
Mm-hmm.
able to make ad revenue. I went for it. So I made
Right.
as
Right.
many many Unleashed videos as I could before it released.
Yeah. I know. I think the main one that I remember that you made was the importance of Acceleracers liveries, and it was just
That
like
thing blew up.
it was it was just like, yeah, this is here, it's like the crispy 240p, yeah, this is this and this is this, and then all of a sudden 20,000
Yeah,
views,
yeah,
what's going on here?
it's crazy. I have
Apparently.
no idea why that blew up. It went really well. And honestly, it's videos that blow up like that motivate me to make more content.
Hmm. I guess what from then do you love about Hot Wheels Unleashed the most
I like that
from
they have
from that?
actually acknowledged the Accelerators fans. I like the library editor. There's so much, just so many beautiful
Mm-hmm.
artworks that people have created in the game. The tracks too. There is just so much freedom for the community to create and the community to put
Mm-hmm.
themselves in the game. We're not relying on
Mm.
Milestone to drip feed us content,
Yeah,
because we
yeah.
can make our own content. There's no shortage of tracks. There's no shortage of beautiful artworks for our cars. And some of the artworks people have put on these cars have just been phenomenal. They are actual,
Simply amazing,
like
yeah.
people are actually putting characters from animes and stuff and Accelerators characters on the
Mm-hmm.
cars. And it's just, how do you do that with circles and
Mm.
squares, my guy? Phenomenal.
It's just circles and squares. This just doesn't make sense.
They got four basic shapes and they make RDL1 or whatever it is, and he looks
Yeah,
phenomenal. And it's just like,
yeah,
how?
yeah. I think Smoke is one of my favorites. He obviously did the JayCee squared one on Power Rage, and I'm just like, what?
Like this
Like,
guy.
how did you do this?
I had like a professional artist that charges like $40 per piece do this, and then some
Yeah.
guy took that picture and then slapped it on a car, and I'm like, what?
Just
It's got
boom,
this,
baby.
like the little shine on it, and everything is perfect. The fact
Yeah,
that it is
that's
multiple colors, like it
crazy.
isn't just one solid color. It goes darker to
Right.
lighter, and he's made that seamless. You can't see any outlines or anything. It's just how.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, yeah,
another
no, for
person was
real.
like, "Yeah, I can do that," and did the
It's
same thing.
insane.
It's not even just one amazing person that did this. Two people have done
Yeah.
this.
Oh my gosh. I know I think I was talking to my team for Neostorm, and we'll get on to the Cobalt World Race, but it was like trying to do my logo on a livery was just so difficult. And then I think the past week someone finally was able to do it on Xbox on a Diora 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
And I'm
saw
just
that.
like,
Spleesu did it.
how did you do that? Because the border, you have to do the border and the outline, and my logo is so complicated, and
Yeah.
it's so weird. How did you manage to put those little weird shapes into that?
Yeah. That was Spleesu. He's a great artist.
Yes,
Honestly, brilliant
Spleesu.
artist. We don't get along personally. He's not a fan of me. But he is a brilliant artist.
Yes, yes. I mean, just amazing. That I wish I could shout out all of you guys, but I don't know every single one. So, what do you hate about the game after the technical difficulties?
Yeah, so I hate that Milestone does actually just drip feed us content. I got very spoiled with both Q and PA.
Mm,
Q, the development team was very hands on, would very much talk to people, and when the complaints about the game meta was too much, they straight up just hired me to fix that. And
mm,
then PA, obviously, Cat is very vocal and very much interacts with the community there. Whereas this one, Milestone, looked like they were going to do that because they had Yuri talking to people before the game
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
released,
yeah. I remember
and
that.
then the game came out and they were just bye.
Yeah.
We get
Oh,
very
if you
little
have some
interaction.
bugs, let us know. Otherwise, bye.
Yeah. You just send it, put in a support ticket. We might read it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I feel like there's just a lot of things that the game could use fixing on. There's a lot of issues with it. Sometimes you'll go into an online lobby, and I get very tilted when I get garbage tracks, like 10 races in a row. And
Yeah,
sometimes like your options are all just garbage, and you're like, I've just got to pick the milestone tracks here because
yeah,
they're just letting in a lot of bad tracks at the moment. They seem to have opened it up to try and diversify it more,
yeah.
but we are just getting really mediocre
Hmm.
tracks. Sometimes there's great ones, and I'm super happy with that. But I feel like more needs to be done about the fact that some of these tracks are just very poorly made.
I see.
Either there's skips that have the track finished in 30 seconds, or they're challenge tracks, and I don't think challenge tracks are good without any warning. Like if you don't know
Mm,
you're on a track where you've got to do like special like jumps to land in certain locations, you don't know where you're going. Obviously,
yeah,
you're gonna have a bad time if you don't know that's coming, and other people
yeah,
do.
yeah. That's
Um,
a good point, actually. Yeah.
Another issue I found is private lobbies. I want to be able to put out my line. I want to be able to select who's in first, second, third for a private lobby. I think that'd be amazing for the host to be able to choose where people are, or something other than just random places. Um, and there's a lot of issues with it. There's a few glitches and stuff that have just never been fixed.
Yeah.
Like your camera hitting the checkpoint will make the checkpoint noise where it says checkpoint, but that if unless your car also hits it, that does not count as you hitting the checkpoint. So the game will tell you you've hit it,
Oh.
but you'll miss it, which
Oh.
can be a problem if there's checkpoints that aren't directly on the track.
Mm. That is interesting. See, I don't know too much about it. I play it just every now and then.
Yep.
Um, so I guess what makes you coming back for it all the time? Because like for me, I
Um,
couldn't always just stay into it. I guess because of that drip feed of seasons
yeah.
being character cars, and it's not that I have anything against them. It's just like this is
Just let
it.
us
Like
edit the. Look, if we can edit the liveries, no one will complain about the character
yeah,
cards.
that was I think the biggest issue is that these companies that license their vehicles didn't want their liveries
Yeah,
edited.
didn't want
Like
them painted.
what's
Yeah,
stupid?
yep. Let us do like Kingdom Come Superman on the Superman car. Come on,
Yeah, I
that'd
think
be
it would be
great.
great to have like you can have the Superman car with like his a DCAU, or you can mix it in with different versions of Superman's character, you know. He's got
The
so
main
many
thing that
different
makes
colors.
me come back to the game is the community. Okay, people
Yeah.
love watching me play the game and love talking to me about the game and playing with me. And that's purely it. Like, if there's another game that all these people want to watch me play and play with me, then I'll probably play that too. And
Mm,
I'd love to do that. Honestly, I don't get a lot of time for any games at the moment, just with a new baby and stuff like that.
yeah.
Plus editing and all that sort of stuff for videos. So I try and get in where I can, but it's not always the most reliable system. And unfortunately, it means I don't get to play the game as much as I would like to.
Yeah. I don't play games. I just stream them and then say, "Yes, I played the game a little bit." I think. What got you into doing the event and for World Race, the Cobalt Sanderson World
um,
Race?
Subs and ad revenue. No, so like
A
it
little blunt.
was the game had just dropped, and I knew that whoever did this first would have the biggest community for it. So I did it first.
Mm,
Um, and at first it was just a trial to see if it would get off the ground, see if it would get any like spectators or anything like that, and it
yeah.
did. It went really well. Um, and we went on to season two. The Xbox and PlayStation guys were very left out, and obviously
Hmm.
Nintendo. But Milestone doesn't care about Nintendo, so therefore they just always will miss out.
It's
Unfortunately,
so sad. Yeah.
yeah, they don't get private lobbies, which is a shame. So we pushed in Xbox and PlayStation before crossplay, which has made things complicated. But
Yeah.
hopefully when crossplay comes out, it's going to fix things up. Everything's going to get real smooth. But we're getting close to the end of season two. I think we only have about
Hmm.
4 races left,
Yep.
so
Yep.
probably not even that. I think it's 3. Um, so it's going to be really good, and we're going to be opening up for people to be able to join for season three, which may or may not be crossplay depending on milestone.
Man, I really hope crossplay happens. I've been waiting for crossplay forever on
They've
this game.
they've accidentally confirmed it.
Yes.
In the latest update. In the latest update, multiplayer lobbies died on PC because
Yeah, I remember
it
that.
said it had a crossplay issue. It was like, "Can I join crossplay right now?" or something.
Oh, okay.
So that
Nice.
confirms crossplay is almost ready to go.
Yes.
Um,
Finally. Oh my
it's just a
gosh.
matter of whether
We
or
can
not they
play.
flip the switch.
Yeah, I know. It's like when Fortnite did it. It was just them flipping a switch, and they were like, "Oh, look, crossplay is it can
Yeah,
happen."
yeah. Well, we could always do it. We just need a permission.
Yeah, I know. I
It
think
looks like at the moment Milestone either is waiting on the permission or they have it. They're just trying to fix some bugs in the
I
system
wonder
because
if
they do
I
have
wonder if
those.
yeah, I was gonna say I wonder if they're gonna wait till after they do the Monster Jam, not Monster Jam, the Hot Wheels Monster Truck stuff, so that I guess maybe it makes more sense when they
Yeah,
get
it
a new
does.
influx of players. Hopefully,
It would be a good time is release the monster trucks with crossplay at the same time would be
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
And I think crossplay, the lack of crossplay has really hurt the game.
yeah, because the
And
community is split into three different
yep,
areas, and it's so small already. I mean,
yep.
you're
So
just
once you move it
dicing
all
up
back
like
in, you'll get that influx and you'll have players come back for
yeah.
crossplay.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I want to play with of course Big Man and them because I know Big Man's an Xbox only guy. I think a
Yep.
couple people Race Grooves is a PS4 only
Yeah,
guy.
yep.
So I mean, there's just all these guys that want to play together and they just can't right
Yeah,
now
yeah.
because
Like with the World Race, we've got a bunch of Xbox and PlayStation guys in there now, and I think there's almost 30 of them total.
wow,
And
that's a good
that'd be
amount.
really good to add
Yeah,
to the current roster of drivers we have.
yeah,
It'd be really good. We'll have a Div One and Div Two league at that point.
yeah. That's good. What do you think these guys get most out of the event? By the way, because I know you're saying you started it because of the ad revenue and you got the biggest community, but I think that's a good thing because I mean it
Yeah, yeah,
allows us
absolutely.
to actually be together and have this little bit of content for the platform and keep it
The
going while
Yeah,
it's in
the
this
community
limbo.
is great. It gives people something to do. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
just
Right, right.
blindly making tracks and just racing. It gives people something to do, and people have made friends through this. I've made plenty of friends through this. This is great. I love this community. I love the world race community I've got going on right now.
Yeah,
It's just really good, and I feel like these are guys that I'm going to play with for a long time. And it's not just Hot Wheels I play with them. It's sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh, sometimes Among Us.
yeah, yeah,
So it's really good to have just the community isn't just all focused on the one thing, and we've got more people to play our games with that don't necessarily have to be this one thing.
yeah, yeah. That's good. I know. I know there was some drama in your server in the very beginning, but I mean, even then, you still had the good community still come out of it fine after it
And
actually
that
got
drama
focused
all
back
just
in.
came down to someone wanted me to plug their server so that they could do another world race, and they
Mm,
wanted to use me to advertise, and I said no. So they tried to like just they made up lies and stuff that I'd said
yeah,
to try and get people to leave and join their thing. And once I just shared all the chat history and stuff,
yeah,
I had nothing to
yeah,
hide. So once I shared all that, I think they got 4 drivers for their world race,
yeah.
and
Oh, rest in
we
peace.
replaced that team that left, and that team ended up winning the season, the
Yeah, and
replacement
then
team.
you
So that was
you
really
move
good.
along. I
Yeah,
think that's a good warning for people though as well in the community that
yeah. Don't mess with
there's
Cobalt.
yeah, there is this drama, but I mean, if you still have integrity and stuff, you still have proof on your side and everything. Even
Yeah,
when
yeah.
this stuff hits the fan, there's so much that happens in different communities over the years that have failed, and I'm so glad that yours didn't when it first happened, because I know
It
it's
was
been a
a bit
community
shaky for
killer.
a moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a bit shaky for a moment there. At first, when before I shared any of the information,
Mm,
when I just tried to ignore it and tried to be like,
yeah.
yeah, don't encourage them. At that point, I
Yeah.
had like four captains were leaving, and the whole thing was just going to hell.
Yeah.
Um, and then once I shared everything and was like, here's all the stuff that's going on. Once I
Yeah.
figured out what was going on, because I didn't even know that these people were going behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, once I found out and I just shared all the the truth,
Yeah.
everyone just came back and
Throw the
they've been really
receipts
wholesome.
down, baby. You got
Yeah,
proven
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. And I didn't like hassle anyone. I wasn't like, how dare you leave or anything like that. I was
Yeah.
just like, look, I understand. They made the right decision with the information they had. They just
Mm-hmm.
needed the rest of the information,
Yeah.
and they made the right decision again when they had it.
Yeah. I'm so glad you came out of that fine, and I just wanted to. I know it wasn't on my questions list, but I wanted to make sure that people knew that, you know, communities can be rough, but this community can keep going. It's just
Yeah,
you just gotta sometimes
we're just
tell
here
the
to
truth.
race. Simple
Yeah,
as
we're
that.
just here to race, man. We're just here to race. Oh my goodness, it's good. I wanted to ask, what else are you interested? Because I know you've done Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff on your channel. What
Yeah,
else, other
yeah. I'm
things
a
do you do?
massive Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Like I've got decks for days just everywhere. I'm big on Yu-Gi-Oh. My kids, the two that are old enough to play, enjoy it and
Mm-hmm.
play. Um, so big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. Just because there's so many formats, there's so much you can do with it. I prefer older formats, and I'll play like any old format.
Yeah,
Anything pre 2014, I'll play it.
yeah.
Absolutely love the game.
I
It's
know.
just an issue with finding people that want to play it is the
Yeah,
biggest issue. And Among Us, I'm a huge Among Us fan. I got into it when the hype all started, and
yeah.
that just never went away from me. I have just always loved
He's
that game.
still into it.
I love lying to people. It's brilliant. It's just
Love
it's
it.
so much fun.
Oh my
And I've
goodness.
been in and out of a lot of Among Us communities. My last job I had before COVID ruined everything. For those last few months when we were all working from home, I had one computer was my work computer, and I'd be working from that. And then between phone calls and stuff, I just play Among Us on the main computer. No idea why the
That's
company
beautiful.
collapsed.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, because man, I loved playing that game so much within the Hot Wheels
It's
Discord.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had
I'm trying to get lobbies going, but finding 10 people to play at any given
I
time is just
know, I
it's hard.
know, I know. I was trying to get on with you, but I was like, I'm already doing something else. I'm sorry. Uh, because
Roblox.
yeah, hey, it's different friends, okay? Oh, that's a little jab there. Um, what else did I was I thinking of on regards to? Oh yes, so with regards to Yu-Gi-Oh and card games, did you ever get interested into the Acceleracers card game any? Or
um, so I didn't as a kid. Like it
yeah,
was far too. There's obviously no one to play with.
yeah,
Playing the real card game is impossible because there's just no one to play with. There was an
mm-hmm.
online tournament when I first got a computer through Tabletop Simulator. I think I
Yes,
already had it or I bought it for it. I don't know, one of the two. I think I already wanted Tabletop Sim anyway. I entered that and I spent a few hours just looking at every card in the game because there's only ever been one set. Like,
mm-hmm.
so there's only 216 cards or something. And just from that, you can solve the game. Like with any card game experience, you can look at every card and be like, this is just not playable. And by removing cards that are not playable, you take out about 150 of the 200
Whoa,
cards.
dang,
And then that's just for, and now you've got things that are playable and things that are good. And then
mm-hmm.
you put out the 20 cards aside that are good, and then just fill it with a couple of playable cards. And it's very easy to just solve the game and have a deck that just demolishes absolutely everything. And the only thing that counters it is someone else playing the same deck that just draws better,
mm,
which I entered this tournament, absolutely bodied everyone. And the only person that beat me was in the big final, and he was playing the exact same deck, just
Oh my gosh.
he drew better. He was the one hosting the tournament though, so he couldn't win the prizes. So I still got
Oh
all the first place
yeah.
prizes.
I,
Got myself an extra copy of. I got a packeted power bomb and what's the drift tech?
Drift Tech,
Got a
yeah, Drift Tech. I
third
was like,
drift
yeah.
tech.
Yeah, I know for me, I got into that tournament and I'm not good at card games. Like I just throw random crap at it. I'm like, "Oh, this looks good. This looks fine." So it's always interesting to actually listen to someone that knows what they're doing with card games. And then there's
Yeah,
me.
I think
I'm
I put
just
out a video on my channel that just tells you how to solve the game.
oh, gotta watch that. Gotta beat my friends. I actually do have a friend here that he's got the whole deck. He's got a literal whole deck of all the
Oh,
cards.
that's awesome.
And I'm like, okay, we're gonna play. I'm gonna lose, but it'll be okay because my deck is not good at all. I have like two
Yeah.
hazards, two hazards, and like a ton
That's
of
too
cards.
many, my guy. Hazards are bad. You don't need hazards
Oh,
at all.
you don't need hazards,
The
huh?
the two decks that won that tournament didn't play a single hazard.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. Interesting.
It's
Okay.
because there's
Okay.
if you pay 5 for a hazard and then your opponent puts out one of those one of the 4 zero cost cards that is like negate a hazard, you just paid 5 for nothing.
Hmm.
It's
See,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
interesting to listen to. Ooh.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I
And
have to.
that one card that it costs 0 and negates a hazard in your opponent's turn is the reason that format is so easy to solve. Is because if anyone's
Hmm.
playing hazards, you just win based on that,
Oh
and
wow.
then everything else you need is to draw power.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh,
That is
and
actually really cool.
there's a mod that lets you skip a realm even if you haven't like got all the stuff for it.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, you play that as well and you
That's
win.
the what was that one? The drone airlift one, I think, is
Yeah,
the
yeah, some sort
hyperpod.
of jet. Yeah,
Man, that's kind of cool though to listen to. It's funny though because it's like as a kid you don't know all this stuff. Obviously,
yeah,
you're just
absolutely. Yeah,
collecting and you're
makes a
getting
huge
random
difference.
cards,
Yeah,
and
you
so I
make it.
mean, yeah,
And
having just
like
a
the rule book
little bit
even
of them.
says play two teams. Like the rule book says play two teams. Play three.
Mm, mm,
Two teams is just not
interesting.
good enough.
Yeah.
You need to play three.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope I know. I hope Acceleracers Hub does a tournament in real life because I know he wanted to do one. I do hope he
The
does
hard
do
part
one.
is getting all these people from around the world to show up for a
Yeah.
tournament.
Well, that's the thing. It would be at a Hot Wheels collectors convention. So
Ah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah,
sort of the I'm not speaking for him. I'm just saying something that I pitched to him was the Hot Wheels collectors convention is probably the best bet to where if we do go, we'll be able to actually have like an area to ourselves that we could do it with
yep,
all these other
absolutely.
people, and it would be sort of funny because it would be like all these nerds in in one room while everyone else is like trading their cars and stuff. It's just all these nerds are playing Hot Wheels Acceleracers card game.
It's the game had some potential, but I don't know if they really planned for a set two.
Yeah,
It feels like they did. It feels like there was um, a desire for a second set, but there's not really much you can do with it when the entire game is like every single car in Acceleracers is already in the card game twice in just the first set. What
yeah.
sort of cars were they going to put in after that?
Yeah, it's a good point. I wonder if season two would have gone more into that, or, to be honest, they might have not even started doing concept art for season two. Probably just because I know some of those were just concept arts and
Yeah, yeah.
things. So I guess we can move on from the card game. I got a little lost into that track. What did you think of the Twitter account giving Acceleracers fans a mention, like specifically, like super specifically,
um,
Acceleracers fans, this is for you.
it was bound to happen. Like people have been having a go at it for like what 20 years now. It feels like
I'm
more
gonna
than
go at
15 years.
him.
People have been ever since they created a Hot Wheels Twitter. Everyone's been like, "When's Accelerators coming back?" So they were
Basically,
bound to get annoyed with it and eventually say something. And it's they know, okay. Mattel knows, Hot Wheels knows that there's a very vocal accelerators community. I don't know if it is the biggest community, but it is the loudest community,
hmm
which isn't always the best. I will admit, some people don't like it just based on that.
yeah,
But at the same time, like come on, guys, this is nothing but profit. Okay,
Yeah.
you could release those exact same cars in those exact same paint jobs again, and they would fly off the shelves because the people that were too young to get them as kids. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing like 20 of the Acceleracers cars. I'd absolutely get them and all the extras. I want multiple copies this time. I really regret that there was like shelves and shelves of reverbs, and I was
Oh
just like,
my
"Ah,
gosh.
just one. I only need one, right?"
Yeah, I just need one. Yeah, I need like I don't even have that. I just have zero, zero reverbs here. I know. What would you think though if it released with its because obviously Hot Wheels doesn't really have like a semi premium line. They have the dollar, then the $1.29, but they don't have that $3 um Hot Wheels car anymore. They have $5 premiums. So what do
Could
you
do
think it
that.
would turn into?
Uh, honestly, I don't know. They could charge that much for them though. They could charge $5 for them.
Hmm.
People don't. People are paying hundreds of dollars for these stupid cars as it
Yeah.
is. You think they're not going to pay $5 for them?
No, I see that. I'm saying, what do you think it would release as? Whereas, what type of set would it release as? Do you think they would actually put rubber wheels, or do you think they would?
Nah.
For me, I don't think they would try CM6s again, since someone I think at Mattel said they're just too expensive now. I want to ask them personally if CM6 has a chance of coming back in CM5
I
because those
don't
wheels
think.
are beautiful, but.
I know a lot of people would disagree with this, but I couldn't care less what the wheels, the rims look like, as long as the wheels
Mm.
are the right colors. You know, the blue wheels, the green wheels, the purple wheels.
Oh, I see. I
That's
see.
necessary. I think they need to bite the bullet and make the Maniacs have red wheels. Giving the black wheels was just pointless. What? All cars have black wheels. Go away. Give us red wheels for Maniacs.
Make it hotter.
You know, make it stand out. Red
Uh-huh.
wheels look so good, and they have released CM6s with red. I'm pretty sure at some point.
Yes, they have with
Uh,
Speed Machines. Speed Machines
yeah,
got
yeah.
those with the
So
Ferrari, I think.
you know, if I'm going to customize my cars, I'm going to just take those and put them on there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So just save us some time. You know, you could charge easily $10 for these cars, for these Acceleracers cars, and people will
Yeah.
buy them because
Yeah,
we don't.
I mean people were buying the Hot Wheels ID for $7 each, and those things are not $7 each, let me tell you. Those things are not that expensive. They were just trying to put all the costs from the mobile game application into just the cars themselves, and it was just like,
Like
what in the world?
people are paying like $40 for one of these at a minimum,
Yeah, that's
and I think
dumb.
it's gone up.
It's gone way up for especially the one with the tampos on the
Yeah, yeah. I don't
windshield.
have the
That
tampos on
one
the
is
windshield.
like dumb money now. I mean, I bought mine for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$20 when it was around on
Um,
eBay 2 years ago,
like
and now.
Hot Wheels Acceleracers.net or whatever it is, the shop that has the every single or has like a bunch of cars for
Oh
$7,
yes,
and then
yes,
this is just randomly 40, while every
yeah,
other car is 70.
and it didn't
And that's
actually
like the
didn't used to
cheapest
be
way to
that.
get one of these.
Yeah, it didn't actually used to be that. It used to be, I think, 20 on his
Yeah, yeah.
website originally. So that is an annoyance, but
But like, if
it's what
people are
happens
willing
with
to
the
pay
market.
$40 for this garbage car, look, I hate it. I think this is the most basic car.
Eric Soon,
It
where are you? Where
it
are you, Eric Soon? Show this man
it
what's up.
it's so bland and boring. There's nothing cool about it. It just looks like a regular tuner. There's nothing that stands out. And people are paying $40 to $80 for this stupid thing. You put this on the shelf for $10, it will not last. It will be
and
flying off
and
the
I
shelves.
and I was gonna say, I think the reason though is that some of these cars aren't always the best, but they sell because of the characters that drive them and stuff.
Oh,
I mean, that's why
absolutely.
Reverb
I mean,
sells for so high.
yeah. Reverb sells because it was the car.
It was the
So
last
like I can
car
understand that.
of Acceleracers. I mean, it's the last car
But
that
people are putting
survived.
$200 down for one of these.
Stupid,
It's it's
stupid.
got Uket written on the side. It's not even correct.
Uket.
That's how you know it's not a custom one. It's an original Uket chicane.
Yeah, the customs are better than that. Actually, I don't want an official chicane because of
No,
that
no,
reason.
you've got to have the Uket chicane.
Not for $200. I pay $100 for
I
Teku.
I never knew this. Okay, I never knew this had Uket on it. And then I was writing a fan story one time for Tesla posting because I don't know. I love writing. That's my main thing I do is
Hmm.
write. was riding it, and I had a Teku nightclub, and I was just like, I have no idea what to name it. I'm just gonna write Teku backwards and call it Club Bouquet. And then someone was like, "Oh, it's a shout out to Chicane having it backwards," and I'm like, "What? Which print did this happen often? Was there just like one of these that had it printed backwards? No, the one I
No, it's
own
all
has
of
it
them. It's
backwards.
all of them.
It's like I've owned this since I was a kid. Never noticed it said Uket
Oh,
till
that's
someone
so
pointed it
funny.
out like 2 years ago.
That's so funny. That's great.
But like, if
Club
people are
Bouquet.
willing to pay $200 for this, and it doesn't even have the right word on the side of it, then they're gonna pay $10 each to grab
Yeah.
5 of this thing off the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the danger is, do you think it would turn into a hype beast issue where all these people would then scalp them all from the store immediately and then try to resell them on eBay again?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I live in regional Victoria, middle of nowhere, Australia. Good luck to them. Like
Hey,
they're
wait a
not gonna
minute.
come here.
I'm in a big community hub over here in
Yeah.
America, man.
I am I'm one of 3 Acceleracers fans, 4, sorry, in all of my region. And that is because 2 of them are my children, and the other one is my brother. Okay? I promise you I would get these off the shelf before any scalpers. So I
He
have
said,
no.
"I'm there. I can get there 2 weeks late and they'll still be there."
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's
I don't think
great.
I can't get his treasure hunts. The treasure hunters here are nuts.
Oh yeah.
I cannot keep
Treasure
up with them.
hunters everywhere, man. Treasure
Yeah.
hunters everywhere. If you want to hear more about treasure hunters, you can check out the podcast with Reese. That was we talked about some stories of
When I
people
was in
knocking down
like
employees for the stuff. I
yeah,
mean, it's
when I was in primary school, my mum worked at the Kmart. Um, so we'd go in there on delivery day, and she'd just bring us the box
oh
fresh out
wow.
off the truck, and we'd go through, get one of each first edition, and all the treasure hunts, and then be like, "There you go. Here's half a box for you to put on the shelf. We'll just save you your job."
Hey, we're your best customers.
Yeah.
Just take them
So
all.
I got plenty of treasure hunts when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just from doing that, but I haven't gotten a single one since I restarted collecting and stuff as an adult.
Oh wow. Yeah, that it is difficult. I know I've only been able to find a couple, and I think one of them was because I think COVID hit and everyone at Walmart was just going crazy. But there's a thing called a neighborhood Walmart in America, and they're basically smaller, downscaled size. But apparently, they ordered so much stuff during COVID. They ordered like 20 boxes of Hot Wheels for this one tiny Walmart, and there was 3 super treasure hunts I found of the same car, and I was just like, yes, 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 no one's gonna miss these. I'm gonna take these real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes I go spend half an hour looking, but still haven't found one.
yeah. Oh well. That's just how it is sometimes. I know it's interesting to see how big the just simply the collecting community is compared
That's
to the
huge.
accelerators community. I mean, you just have to look at TikTok. It's like
Yeah.
what in the world? I've seen Drifter D has almost 100,000 subscribers just to look at Hot Wheels cars on the pegs and stuff, and I'm like, what is this? And it amazes me, but I'm also wondering how big can accelerators come out of this with people finding the community again.
It isn't just about old people finding the accelerators community, like people that have been fans for a long time. Bringing in new fans is the key, and
Mm,
it's easier to bring in new fans if you just, I don't know, put the movies back on Cartoon Network. You don't even have to make new movies; just put those same movies back out, maybe remaster them or something.
do their own 4K thing.
Or not even that, just like fix up some of the glitches, maybe if they can. Just a little bit of editing here and there would just improve it. Um, or obviously redo them. Obviously, it's expensive to do, but it is like we got glorified 1 hour advertisements for 5 movies, and they worked. They sold, and they
Mm,
would still sell today if they were still selling that product. There is no It's just a really good idea, a really good business strategy for those TV series. all those movies. And I feel like they could quite easily recruit people that are willing to do it for barely any money because we already have people trying to do it.
Hmm.
What if they, Vulcan's doing the Fog Realm thing?
Yeah.
What if they hired him for, like, he's obviously doing it for, YouTube dollars, YouTube ad rev or whatever it is,
I don't
maybe
know about that.
Patreon
I think
money?
I don't know about that. I mean, talking to him about it, it's more just he just wanted to do it or do
Exactly.
something,
He just wanted to do it. So
and
he's not, so if they paid him to do it, then and gave him some assistance from other
I don't know.
modelers,
I
that
think
could
Vulcan's a different story because he's been pretty adamant about not wanting the movies coming back. I know he's
really.
not a big fan of that. So
Okay.
yeah, so it is just
But there's
different for
others out
him.
there like him that
Yeah,
are quite capable of doing this modeling and all this animation and stuff. And they could easily, if Mattel reached out to them and was like, hey, let's do this, they'd be able to figure it out.
mm,
They'd be able to do it for less money than they paid for the originals, I reckon.
interesting, interesting. So I guess if Mattel you're listening, please maybe reach
Just
out to
bring
some
back
community
Acceleracers.
members and
I don't know if
then
you've heard of this
start
before,
an
guys.
in-house studio at Mattel for animation, and then boom, Accelerator.
And look, it doesn't even have to be Accelerators. Just give us another good animation. Like in the 60s they had, or 70s they had a
Mm,
cool Hot Wheels series.
yeah,
And I can see they tried with Team Hot Wheels, but it didn't have the
yeah.
character
You know
charm.
what's
It didn't have the car. The main thing is it
yeah.
has to have unique cars. And Battle Force 5 would have been good if they didn't drop it directly after Accelerators and have everyone go, why isn't it
I think
Accelerators?
yeah, for me it was just the advertising for Battle Force 5. One of my friends actually just showed me some clips and stuff, and I'm like, actually, this is pretty good. But it's you judge it as a kid as Acceleracers 5, and it wasn't, and
Yep.
so that's why I think it was just a
They've done
failed
a
marketing
Fast
attempt.
and Furious Hot Wheels series, haven't they?
No, that's just Fast and Furious. They just
Is it?
partnered with them to make the diecast. But I think I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about that with someone with Spy Racers. It really is just a weird cheap cash grab with Netflix. I mean, it's one of those cheap Netflix shows
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
just
But like they've still hit all the right marks. They've got unique characters, unique cars, and I think that's a good opportunity that they could easily. And like those cars are selling. It's just they're selling them as mainline cars instead of trying to make them their own thing.
yeah.
And I think making them their own thing would make them more collector's items.
No, I think
And
with the own thing with those is that they actually the store stopped buying the cases because they were like, well, we still have these on the pegs, so we don't need a new case of new characters and stuff that
yeah,
drive the cars or whatever. So I know that whole release
it,
weirdness
it
was a
took
problem. I think.
it took accelerators a bit to take off,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that was because the advertising market was actually too young to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
It was
even know
always
about it really. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was
I
always,
barely
Mum,
had
can you buy me
any of them.
these? Mum, Dad,
Uh,
can you buy me these? And Dad was like, why would I want to spend $7 on this car?
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, because I want it.
Oh yeah, argument solved.
Why would we spend like however much this stupid thing cost? It
Yeah.
was like, and they did it for like Christmas or something. It was great.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get all the hyperpods because they were all like $20, $30. And like
Hmm.
my dad's a Hot Wheels collector, but he wasn't collecting. He doesn't
This.
collect track
Yeah.
sets and things like that.
Yeah.
And they were basically just track sets off to this or like that sort of thing, just
Yeah.
not mainline stuff. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, my dad was big on mainline stuff and the proper small scale cars.
Yeah.
The fact that I was able to pick these up for 7 each was amazing because dad was just like, yeah, all right, we'll cave and buy them for you.
By a couple. Yeah. You really like these, so we'll get you some.
Yeah, yeah,
I know for me it was I think I had I didn't really have a chance to get any of them as a kid. I was already too old by the time I figured out that they sold them in the stores. And I was like,
yeah,
"Oh no." So I just got recolors and stuff. So I mean, a lot of
yeah.
people collected the recolors of
And
these
that's the
same
thing, yeah,
cars and
people
still
still
do.
collect recolors.
Yeah.
And they get so excited to see a recolor. I did too. Like when I got back into the community, I thought I had gotten rid of these. I thought these were gone. I thought I gave them to my kids, and my kids lost them. I assumed they were gone, so I was collecting the recolors. I was like, "Yeah, this is cool enough." And Mattel, Mattel knows this. They're dropping more and more recolors recently.
Yeah.
Last year we had like 8 recolored Acceleracers cars, and they were selling.
Yeah.
And so they know that this sells. They just, I don't know, they're afraid to invest money into it, which I can understand that too, but it'll be worth it, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think
it's different now. I think there is a bigger community than there has been before, and it's growing faster than it has. That's for sure.
It's just people finding the community, I think, is the important part.
Yeah.
Don't waste money on the card game. That obviously was never a good idea. No one wants to play a card game about Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah. Well,
people can say they do.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it, but it's not a money making idea.
No,
It
you're
was
right.
never going to make money. But they could easily bring in a whole new generation of people to like Acceleracers, and the parents of that generation are people that grew up with Acceleracers. If my kids were like, yeah, they've got Acceleracers cars on the shelf, you think I'm not going to buy every single one of them for it? I'll buy everyone. I'll buy my kids, one of each, and I'll buy me one of each.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The original movies didn't appeal to adults. So that prevented sales, because that's who buys Hot Wheels cars for the most part, is adults.
Yeah.
As much as they sell to kids, the cheapo $1 ones sell to kids, not that one.
Yeah, but the premiums and stuff, those more expensive ones, yeah.
Yeah, so these are for kids, and then these are for adults, and then you've marketed these at kids, which is a good idea because kids want to buy them, but they just didn't sell for that reason. And now these kids are adults and they want to buy them. Now is a good time to be releasing these, because that's, even if you release them exactly the same but without the cards, people buy them.
Maybe like a 20th anniversary set. That would be amazing. Would love a 20th anniversary set. One of the big
that's how it started. Was Highway 35 was a 35th anniversary
celebration. Anniversary, right? And I love that so much. I mean, that's still my favorite movie. Is the World Race movie. Out of all of them, it's the campy, crazy 5 teams, makes no sense what's going on type thing, and I love it. But that whole issue with the collecting gets me back to, or reminds me of people like Race Grooves and people like Orange Track Diecasts that actually did watch these movies and then liked them, but and they actually gave them a chance in the adult community, and it's because of them I feel like that we even had this little bit of a chance with just these smaller little communities. I mean, you look at Race Grooves' stuff from 2014, millions of views on just racing Hot Wheels cars of Acceleracers down a track.
I've been wanting to do that because Race Grooves is the only person that's done that. So I've been wanting to just, I've been wanting to shovel these down a track, and I've been wanting to shovel these down a track and be like, let's throw that on YouTube. And I know people like it. It's just a matter of getting the tracks done.
Yeah,
I do have the track for it, the same as 3D Bot Maker's track, very similar.
Oh, cool.
So I would love to do that with the open, where they can change lanes and stuff, all that sort of stuff. I would love to do that. Cool. It's just a matter of having the room for it, which I don't right now. Hopefully, when I move.
Yeah. I think man, that reminds me of Reese doing his Power Rage down 3D Bot Maker's thing, and then 3D Bot Maker pitted it against a world record champion so that it could get out real fast, and I was like,
oh really?
Yeah, there was some sus behavior by 3D Bot Maker with Power Rage being involved in the tournament, and he was just basically the DeLorean demolishing it. And then Reese, I think it, like I said, if you listen to the previous podcast, people will know Reese was like, a little sus of y'all doing this to me and putting me against this guy. So I would love to see it like a 3D Bot Maker style with the Acceleracers cars. I would love to see that.
That's definitely my goal. I'm moving hopefully at the end of this month. The end of April. And I'll hopefully have a Hot Wheels room, dedicated Hot Wheels room.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I think by the time this podcast comes out, you might have already moved. So
yes, awesome,
so maybe that'll be good for content making.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to share with your community about, or anything that special fans can look forward to for your stuff other than
Uh,
that?
I haven't got a lot planned. I have actually got a big event planned. Sorry. Um, and it looks like everyone will be driving Diora 2 for it.
Am
Um,
I invited? That's the real
of
question. Am
course
I
you're invited.
invited?
You're
Okay,
always invited,
cool.
Jesse.
I just need
Always.
crossplay first so I can use my JayCee Square livery.
um, so actually, since this isn't coming out for a while, I'll probably announce it by the time this is coming out.
Mm,
It's a 3 hour event. It's a
ooh,
3 hour race event.
interesting.
Um, and it's going to be world race style, but the tracks won't be. Oh, it's going to be ultimate race style. The tracks won't be introduced until the moment you enter, like until the lobby starts. So
Ooh,
it won't be introduced until the game is loading.
that
And
is
it will be
cool.
elimination. So at the end of each race or set amount of time, the last driver gets kicked out, and then you go into the next
Oh,
one
dude, this is like the
until
Acceleracers distance tournaments now.
yeah.
Ooh.
So it's going to be huge. Not sure exactly when it's going to happen. Hopefully, it's
Hmm.
coming. It's probably going to be the end of World Race Season 2. So
Okay.
immediately after that, but only the admin team of World Race Unleashed knows about it at the moment.
Okay. Now I do.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I mean, you're actually in that admin team. You just keep
Yeah.
forgetting.
And now it's it's
Technically,
funny
you had
because
this information
I
2 weeks ago.
it's so funny because like I just forget that I'm an admin sometimes. I think I was on my phone and I had just like dropped it or something, and I was messing with the Discord and I was moving your channels, and I was like, wait a minute, wait, where was that channel? I don't remember where that went. I was trying to like, oh no, I messed up his Discord server.
That explains why one of the PA channel was at the top for a
That
while.
was me probably.
I
It
was
was
like,
probably me on
why is
accident.
I was like, why is this up here? Who moved it here? I was like, I haven't been able to play PA for ages, so I just deleted it.
Oh, rest in peace, PA. I know PA is going strong on its own. It's just it
Yeah,
hasn't been
yeah.
a lot of
They're doing a PA 2. So they've said they're
okay,
not going to be doing any more updates for PA. Because they're doing a sequel, which is going to revamp
okay.
the driving engine entirely to a new, more refined.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it actually, since
Yeah,
my
big fan.
JC Squared livery will be in the game. I hope. I did hand
Ooh,
something
ooh.
to Bro Over Shield. I don't know if it'll actually be working or not, since it was fan made. Some again, I don't know. You guys are
Correct.
amazing at fan stuff, and so I just sent
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
since someone wanted that. But yeah, I think we can move on for that. I want to thank you for coming on, since we were going for about an hour now, and that's a good amount
Yep,
to
yep.
stop.
Yep.
Um, is there anywhere people can find you? Of course, your merch, your social media, plug.
Yeah. So, obviously, Cobalt Sanderson at YouTube, or the YouTube Cobalt Sanderson is the best place for my content. I'm also on Redbubble selling merch, which is again Cobalt Sanderson, and then Twitter. Take a guess. It's still Cobalt Sanderson.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's fortunately not a name I have to fight anyone for. Just made it long enough.
That's good.
But yeah, so that's pretty much everything. I try to keep, as much as I do interact with people on my Facebook, it's people go from my Facebook to everything else. I don't want to take people from there to my Facebook.
Yeah.
Um, just keep that little bit of privacy going.
Yeah, and your Discord, people can find that in the link in
Yes,
below. I
Discord.
will be linking that in below for people that want to join the Discord, join the world race for the next season, because it's too late for this one, but next season I
Yeah,
think you
season
guys can
three.
get
As
in.
soon as we get up to the finals for season 2, we'll be doing advertising for season 3. Try and
Hmm.
get some more people in, and I think it'll be a Google form that'll go around and get people in.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, as for me, of course, you can find me at JC Squared on YouTube. You can find me at JC underscored squared. That's JayCee_squared at Twitter, Facebook. is JayCee Squared. Instagram is JayCee.squared. TikTok is also JayCee Squared. Luckily, it's also a big, long name that most people don't do because they usually shorten it. The
I just remembered I
Instagram's.
also have a Twitch.
You also have a Twitch. Okay, there you go. Follow him on
Also,
Twitch.
Cobalt Sanderson.
Cobalt
You also
Sanderson on
forgot your
Twitch.
Twitch.
And also JayCee Squared on my Twitch. Make sure to leave a 5-star review on whatever you may be listening on, Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you're watching here on YouTube, like, subscribe, and comment on today's episode what you think. If you want to support me directly, you can of course join the channel for exclusive benefits like actually seeing these episodes before everyone else. Thank you to Ratchet RPG
Didn't even know about
01.
this until today.
Oh, really? Well, thank you to Ratchet RPG 01, AL Seg, and Z Storm Games for being members. Appreciate y'all a ton. And of course, if you want this type of Acceleracers merch, you can head on over to jclegoman10302.redbubble.com, which is my old name. Unfortunately, I can't change it there, to get your fix. And again, thank you, Cobalt, for coming on. Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace.
Toodles.
This has been the Squared Corner Podcast. Music composed by Steve Rocket. Video and audio recording by Riverside.fm. Video and audio editing by JayCee Squared. Logo art by Miguel Martinez. And lastly, supported by you, the viewer. Thank you.